Let's get into what it means to know that, okay, you are in fact an eclipse winter woman of style. Does that mean that you can still flow into the deep autumn color season and color palette? So here's the thing. Flow seasons, as you know, suggest that someone has characteristics blending between two adjacent seasons. For example, let's say you initially thought you were a deep winter who flows into the deep autumn, which would also indicate that you have a slight warmth tolerance. So although you are a deep winter, there are some deep autumn colors that you can definitely get away with that has a slight hint of warmth to it. But the main characteristic that you're going to be looking for if you happen to be a deep winter who flows into the deep autumn is the similarity in depth and intensity of that deep autumn color. And again, if you haven't checked out my Flow Color Season playlist, I will link to that below. But now that you may be considering the fact that you are an eclipse winter woman of style, you've gone through the process of elimination, you hit all of the cues that I spoke about at the beginning of this mini series in terms of having depth and coolness shared between your hair, your eyes, and depending on your skin, how clear your skin is, you have now found out that you may in fact be an eclipse winter woman of style. So if this is the case with you, as it is with me, the eclipse winter variation suggests a different kind of influence on the extended colors that you can wear from the deep autumn. However, the colors that you can wear from the autumn color palette are going to be more clear rather than warm. So there's going to be warmth there, but those colors predominantly have more clarity to it. So in that case, instead of flowing into the deep autumn, it would be more accurate to say that your palette now expands into two directions, towards bright winter, but not complete bright winter colors for added clarity, and toward select clear autumn colors that still maintains its depth. However, you still need a bit of clarity in the deep autumn colors that you choose from. So when we think of the new subcategory within the autumn color palette, we now need to include the Ember Autumn color palette, which is a unique deep plus clear variation of the deep autumn colors. So unlike the traditional deep autumn that you may have become accustomed with, which leans heavily into warmth and richness, the Ember Autumn woman of style maintains her depth, but also requires more clarity as well, which allows you to overlap slightly, also allows you to borrow quite a few beautiful colors from the clear, deep autumn color palette. So the main thing that you're going to be looking out for is depth and clarity of the Ember Autumn spectrum of colors that are available to you. So let's get into some examples to give you more of a context as to what it means to be an eclipse winter woman of style who now can flow into the gorgeous colors of the Ember Autumn spectrum of colors. So as I have been stating, deep autumn's depth aligns with deep winter, but now we have a new variation. Deep autumn and deep winter do in fact share a dark, intense palette, so obviously there is some overlap. However, the colors you pull from deep autumn would need to be the clearest, as I have stated, within that range, not the ones that lean too earthy and muted. So I can wear deep autumn shades that have strong pigmentation and equal intensity rather than being soft, blended warmth as you have seen in the first edition of this color branding series. However, the added element to the colors that I can borrow from the autumn spectrum of colors is clarity. So I need a hint of depth, I need a hint of clarity and a hint of warmth. As you can see to the far right, myself, Lupita Nyongo, and Jordan Sparks, all different in our skin tone quality. However, notice that we are wearing the same color of Ember Autumn's emerald version of green. There is still some depth. This is considered a traditional deep autumn color, but if you notice, there's also a hint of clarity. So again, depth, clarity, and a hint of warmth evenly distributed throughout the Ember Autumn colors is what you are going to want to keep an eye out for. If you happen to be an Eclipse Winter Woman of Style who flows into the Ember Autumn color palette, your colors will need to have a little bit more depth to the deep autumn spectrum of colors that you are choosing to incorporate into your existing wardrobes. So when it comes to the Ember Autumn subgroup within the spectrum of colors of autumn, this particular subgroup of colors maintains the same depth and warmth as I have spoken about throughout this video, but with a touch of clarity. So I want you to envision or go back to the mood board at the beginning of this video, and I want you to visualize glowing embers, dark, fiery, and defined rather than hazy or subdued colors that you would normally observe in the soft autumn color palette. When you think about Ember Autumn, I think of brilliant sparkling gold flecks, brilliant autumn's emerald greens, ruby reds with a hint of clarity and warmth to it, glowing, sparkling canary yellows, brilliant, warm ocean blue colors. These are the colors that I associate with an Ember Autumn woman of style. So if you are an Eclipse woman of style, you can definitely borrow quite a few beautiful, sparkling, coppery, clear colors from the deep autumn color palette, but those variations of colors need to have a hint of sparkling, radiant clarity to them. So again, key characteristics of the Ember Autumn: you will thrive in rich, saturated colors, but they aren't overly softened or muted, such as that of the soft autumn color season. Clarity. So Ember Autumn women of style need stronger, more defined colors, and please avoid anything that's murky, overly earthy colors within the spectrum of autumn colors. And again, warmth. You do have a hint of warmth, especially during the summer season. Your skin overtone will have a beautiful golden coppery look to it. Now that is your overtone. There is a difference between overtone and undertone, and that is something that I go into depth with my color clients when I'm explaining to them their color branding results. You want to maintain a warm look. However, you don't want to lean too warm, but you also don't want to lean too deep. You are wearing colors that are evenly distributed with both clarity, warmth, and depth. This is very important to pulling off the Ember Autumn colors, which work so beautifully with an Eclipse Winter Woman of Style who flows into the Ember Autumn spectrum of colors. So women who can fit quite beautifully into the Ember Autumn colors include women who are clearly deep and have a hint of warmth to them, but finds deep autumn too heavy or overly muted. You can pull off more structured, sparkling, deep colors that aren't dull or dusty. And you also may find that you struggle to fit into wearing soft autumn's hazy colors, but they don't quite work with the depth and clarity that you need of being a dominant signature Eclipse winter woman of style. So as you can see, the celebrity examples that I have here, we will start to the far left. Again, we have the beautiful Jodie Turner-Smith alongside the beautiful Sabrina Elba. We all know her as Idris Elba's wife. However, she is also making a mark for herself in terms of the philanthropy work that she does. And yes, definitely her signature fashion statements that turns heads every season when she makes an appearance with her gorgeous, handsome husband. Now, if you notice, Jodie Turner-Smith and Sabrina Elba are completely different in terms of their skin tone quality. The intensity of the beautiful Jodie Turner-Smith is slightly more deep in appearance. However, Sabrina Elba still has that depth to her hair color, her eye color, and her skin tone is slightly more fair than Jodie Turner-Smith. But notice they're wearing the same color of Ember Autumn Tangerine Orange, which looks equally beautiful on the both of them. And how is this even possible? Because they are Eclipse winter women of style who share the same visual cues. The only difference is their skin tone quality, because Sabrina Elba is intense in her overall coloring. She can definitely get away with wearing Ember Autumn's Tangerine Orange as well. Next, we have the lovely Lupita Nyongo. Now, if you have not watched the first half of what it means to be an Eclipse winter woman of style, I highly suggest that you go back and watch that video so that you can get a better understanding of the intensity and variation and nuances in skin coloring for BIPOC women, women of color. There are nuanced differences in our skin coloring, and this is why I wanted to dedicate the second edition of the color branding series for BIPOC women. I have received quite a few private comments from the community when I had initially did the first edition of the color branding series, and you guys spoke loud and clear. You wanted to see more representation of women of color, and I am here to fulfill my promise. I'm also a woman of color, and there definitely needs to be more representation within the color analysis industry in regards to the nuance variations of skin tones and skin coloring of women who happen to be in the BIPOC community. Now, with Lupita Nyongo, she is just a color chameleon. I will continue to say it. This woman can wear any color. Lupita can get away with just about any color she chooses to wear because she's just an exceptional style icon who just doesn't care what other people have to say about her style because she knows that she can get away with it. However, if you notice, Lupita looks absolutely stunning in the clearest, most luxurious, radiant version of Ember Autumn's copper. This cocktail dress that she is wearing is absolutely stunning on the beautiful Lupita Nyongo. Now, to the left of Lupita is another version of Ember Autumn's Ombre Orange, which showed up in her original color analysis video that I did on the lovely Lupita Nyongo. If you haven't watched that video, I will link to it below in the show notes. However, Ember Autumn Ombre Orange, it's a bit of a tongue twister, looks beautiful on Lupita Nyongo. Now, the reason why she can get away with this version of Autumn's Orange is because there's still a bit of clarity there. It's a bit softer than the Ember Autumn Tangerine Orange, which she would look just as amazing in, but this version of Ember Autumn's Ombre Orange works on her because there is a hint of clarity to this version of orange. Now, to the right, Lupita is wearing Soft Autumn's Peach, and I do not like this color on her. She does look pretty Lupita is a beautiful woman. However, Soft Autumn Peach doesn't do anything for her. As you can see, her overall coloring is a little bit grayish in appearance, and she doesn't appear as radiant in her overall coloring when she's wearing the Ember Autumn colors or even the Eclipse winter colors. So this is the nuanced difference for BIPOC women, women of color, however you want to term it, is looking at the subtle nuanced differences in our skin coloring. And to the far right, I have Issa Rae. Absolutely love Issa Rae, and the beautiful, stunning runway queen herself, the lovely Naomi Campbell. Now, I wanted to show you the difference between being a smoldering autumn woman of style versus an ember autumn woman of style. So ladies, we are going to stop here because I don't want to overwhelm you with the new color subgroups within the second edition of the RWS color branding series. For now, we have begun the expanded color subseasons. The first one in the expanded collection of color seasons is the decadent, mysterious Eclipse Winter Woman of Style. Today, we then covered my flow color season, that of the sultry, copper, golden goddess, Ember Woman of Style. And now you have an introduction to the third expanded color subseason, that of the smoldering autumn woman of style, and we will continue that in the next follow-up video. Do not forget that if you are new to color seasons, color palettes, and you are wanting to get a little bit more depth context to what it means to be a winter, a summer, a spring, an autumn woman of style, my intro foundation color guides to the 4 basic color seasons are now available. And let me tell you, they are not Etsy versions of color seasons and color palettes. My templates are created by myself. I am a one-woman show over here, so I'm not going to be spitting out color guides every week. I will be releasing a collection of color guides as I complete each season, because I want to take my time ensuring that the information I am giving you is not redundant, is not something that you can easily Google on the internet, and also is not something that I'm just spitting out and just giving to you every week on the drop of a dime. Each of the color guides are curated to resonate with the summer, the autumn, the spring, and the winter woman of style. Start with the foundations first and build from that point. And I guarantee you, once you get a sound foundation understanding of what it means to be a, for example, autumn woman of style, and then taking it to another level in the other collection of RWS color and style guides, you will be unstoppable in how you are able to go shopping and choose an array of colors that resonate with the signature essence, energy, and vibe of the color season that you identify with. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.